Imagine walking into a casino and realizing you know something they never wanted you to learn. A tiny strategy, a quiet loophole, a method so simple you could miss it, yet powerful enough that former casino employees whisper about it long after they leave the industry. And today, for the first time, you're about to hear it. Because behind the flashing lights, behind the bonuses, behind the perfectly calculated psychology of every slot floor, there's one method players use that casinos absolutely hate. The $20 method. Not because it breaks the rules, not because it beats the house edge, but because when you use it correctly, it does something even more dangerous. It keeps you in control. This isn't a trick, it isn't a hack, and it's definitely not what the casino expects the average player to follow. In fact, most people walk through those doors already set up to lose. Emotionally, impulsively, and completely unaware that small decisions determine whether they walk out with money or with regret. But the $20 method flips that script. It turns randomness into rhythm. It turns chaos into strategy. And it turns a modest bankroll into a real chance at stretching your play and hitting bonuses that actually matter. So sit back, because what you're about to hear doesn't just change how you play. It changes how you see the casino. Let's step into the truth that most players never get to learn, and every casino hopes you never discover. When you walk into a casino, the energy can be overwhelming. Bright lights, ringing bonuses, people winning around you, and that thrill pushing you to bet bigger than you planned. That's exactly why the $20 method works so well. It transforms the chaos of gambling into something structured, intentional, and actually fun. Instead of dumping your entire bankroll into one machine, hoping for a miracle, you break the experience into small, controlled, mini sessions. Each $20 becomes its own little adventure, a short round with a beginning and an end. Limiting each machine to exactly $20 protects your bankroll more than most people realize. It forces you to walk away before a slot drains you dry, and it also prevents you from chasing losses on a game that simply isn't paying. When you cash out the moment you double up or hit a bonus, you stretch your playtime dramatically. Even a modest feature can give you enough momentum to make the next machine feel like a clean slate. This simple rule keeps you from making emotional decisions. No just one more spin, no impulsive bet jumps, no frustration-driven chases. The beauty of the $20 method is that it brings excitement without overspending. Every machine feels new, every ticket is a small victory, and every bonus feels like a reward for discipline. The lucky chance rule fits perfectly into this structure too. It's only used when your balance hits zero, making it a true last shot instead of something you rely on. And at the heart of it all is the belief that big wins can come from small bets. You don't need $5 spins or massive bankrolls to experience a rush. With smart play, patience, and a little luck, even $20 can turn into a memorable moment or a memorable win. Before you ever sit down at the first machine, there's a moment every smart gambler should take. A quiet pre-game reset where you decide exactly how the night is going to unfold. For the $20 method, that moment starts with something simple. Counting the bankroll. 7 crisp $20 bills. 7 chances. 7 mini adventures waiting across the casino floor. When you know your exact budget before you even touch a slot, you step into the game with clarity instead of chaos. From the very beginning, the intention should always be the same. Have fun, aim for steady wins, and keep the risk controlled. Casinos thrive on impulses. The sudden urge to raise your bet, keep spinning after a loss, or stay glued to a machine that's doing nothing. But when your plan is set from the start, the casino becomes entertainment instead of pressure. Your viewers need that reminder too. Never chase losses. Once that $20 is done, it's done. No anger, no frustration. No, let me try one more bill. The rules protect you from yourself. A huge part of the mindset is accepting that win-loss patterns are part of the journey. Some machines will give you bonuses immediately. Some won't give you anything at all. The magic is in letting each machine play out its story without emotional attachment. Every session becomes lighter, more enjoyable, and more surprising when you don't expect or force a certain outcome. And staying open to surprises is what keeps the $20 method exciting. Bonus features you didn't expect, Random triggers, lucky chances, features you forgot even existed. These are the moments that turn a simple $20 into a full rush of adrenaline. When you approach the casino with the right mindset, the experience becomes more than gambling. It becomes an adventure of discipline, strategy, and unexpected wins along the way. There's always something special about the first machine of the day. It sets the tone, it wakes up your instincts, and it brings you back into the rhythm of the casino floor. That's why starting with "hold on to your hat" feels like slipping into a familiar old groove. The kind of nostalgia that makes you smile before you even press the spin button. It's one of those games you haven't played in a while, but when you finally sit down again, the memories come back piece by piece. Of course, it doesn't take long before you start relearning the mechanics you almost forgot. The silver hats, the gold hats, the way they build momentum and turn into bigger bonus potentials. All of it slowly clicks back into place as the reels spin. It's funny how muscle memory works in casinos. Even when you forget the details, the excitement returns the moment the symbols start lining up. And then comes the moment every gambler hopes for, the early bonus. Without forcing it, without chasing it, the bonus feature drops right in and instantly boosts the energy of the whole run. When the screen fills with hats and the upgrades start stacking, you remember exactly why this game used to be a favorite. Landing a huge 100 times win on a 60-cent bet so early in the challenge isn't just lucky. It gives you momentum. It creates breathing room for the rest of the $20 method. It builds confidence, excitement, and a sense of today might be one of those magical days. Once the bonus wraps and the adrenaline settles, backup spins serve as the perfect cooldown. They close the session neatly, letting you walk away with profit, nostalgia, and a spark of optimism. With the first machine behind you, the groove is back, and the rest of the casino suddenly feels full of possibility. Every casino player knows how dangerous and exciting it is to hear a good success story. You sit down at a machine and suddenly remember someone saying they hit a hand pay on just $20. Or someone else who walked away with $1,000 on a minimum bet. That's exactly the kind of temptation that pulls you toward Coin Trio. It's the machine people love to brag about. The one where a tiny bet somehow turns into a giant surprise. And once you hear those stories, it's hard not to say, if they did it, maybe I can too. So you take your $20 and sit down with hope, looking for that rare triple coin, triple bonus. Blue, red, and green all together. The dream hit. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's the kind of bonus that makes your whole night. To give yourself the best shot, you mix your bets strategically. Steady 60-cent spins to stretch your session. Then sprinkling in $1.20 bets every now and then to shake things up. Sometimes a slot needs that little jolt to wake up, or at least that's what every gambler tells themselves. But Coin Trio is a test of patience. It gives just enough teases to keep you hopeful. A blue coin dropping without the other two. A near trigger, a fake-out flash of excitement. And then the dead spins creep in, quiet and stubborn. You try to stay calm. Try to remind yourself this is all part of the challenge. But you can feel the $20 slipping away faster than you wanted. Before you know it, you're staring at a balance of just 10 cents. No bonus, no triple combo. Not even a lucky chance to save you this time. Coin Trio holds its secrets tightly today. But that's the fun and frustration of volatility. Sometimes the machine gives, sometimes it takes, and sometimes it just smiles at you and says, not today. There's a certain freedom that comes when you've already hit a solid win early in the session. That extra cushion opens the door to a little more risk, a little more curiosity. And that's exactly what leads you to the spicy coin pot game. It's a more volatile slot than you'd normally pick for the $20 method. But today, it feels right. The earlier profit gives you the confidence to explore something that can either explode with excitement or swallow your bill in minutes. The moment the reels start spinning, the pots at the top begin their teasing dance. They shake, shimmer, and threaten to pop at any second. Every gambler knows that feeling, the anticipation of watching a pot tremble just enough to make your heart skip. But they don't crack, yet. Then comes the moment no one expects. You're down to fumes, literally cents, and the wager saver pops up. Usually it's nothing more than a farewell spin, but today it turns into a miracle. You press it expecting nothing, and boom! Bonus triggered. It's one of those moments that makes you laugh, shake your head, and look around like, did anyone else just see that? Inside the bonus, the magic continues. You land the yummy feature, the version that gives you an extra spin, pushing your chances even further. The board starts filling with dumplings, one by one, the energy rising with each landing symbol. You get so close to completing the entire grid that even the machine teases you with what could have been another monstrous upgrade. By the time it's over, you're staring at one of the best runs of the entire day. All from a last-second wager saver. All from a risky machine you only picked because of earlier momentum. That's the thrill of the casino. One unexpected moment can flip the whole story. Every gambler has that one machine they treat like a science experiment, and on this run, Double Money Link becomes exactly that. It's the kind of game that invites curiosity, offering both a standard mode and an enhanced mode, each with its own promise of bigger opportunities. So you start testing, switching between the two, trying to figure out which side of the machine feels hot. Enhanced mode costs a bit more, but the doors can open to reveal coins. Standard mode is cheaper but more straightforward. Today feels like a day to try both. The first few spins show potential as the doors flutter open, revealing coins that look impressive until the payouts come in. They're tiny, barely moving the meter, more show than substance. The machine is giving you action, but not actually giving you money. As any slot player knows, there's a difference between entertainment and profit, and this game sits firmly on the entertainment side. Still, there's that gambler's instinct, that superstition that whispers maybe the game needs a switch up. So you alternate your bet levels, bouncing between enhanced and standard, almost like you're trying to reset the machine's RNG through sheer willpower. It's not logical, but in the casino, logic and superstition blend together more often than not. But the pattern becomes clear quickly. Spin after spin, you keep landing those tiny hits. The kind the machine celebrates with bright visuals even though you're only winning back a fraction of what you bet. Fake wins, not real wins. Enough to keep you playing, not enough to make you smile. The worst part? No lucky chance feature. When the $20 finally drains away, there's no last shot, no miracle spin, no surprise bonus. Just a quiet, predictable loss. Sometimes the experiment teaches you something. This machine just wasn't the one today. Every now and then, you sit down at a machine and instantly realize you have no idea what you're doing. That's exactly how it starts with the wheel game. The first spin rolls out symbols you don't recognize, features you've never seen, and payouts that make you blink and think, wait, is that good? What am I even looking for? It's the kind of confusion every gambler has experienced at least once. The moment where instinct kicks in before understanding does. But confusion doesn't last long because the machine has its own way of getting your attention. Out of nowhere, the bonus wheel triggers. No build-up, no special combo you spotted ahead of time. Just a sudden flash, a spin prompt, and the kind of excitement that makes you sit up straighter in your chair. Now everything becomes clear. You want the mega, the grand, or the major. Especially that mega with its wild promise of 123 spins. An absolute dream scenario. As the wheel slows, it passes over the mega, teases you with the grand, hovers near the major and lands on the maxi. Middle tier. Not the jackpot level you hoped for, but still a strong prize with solid potential. And the moment the feature starts, you realize just how good it can be. The stacked reels begin dropping in, two at a time, lining up symbols in ways that feel powerful and intentional. Every connection feels like a small victory. Every hit grows the total a little more. By the end, you're staring at a clean, satisfying profit. Not a life-changing jackpot, but exactly the boost you needed. The session ends with more than just a win. It ends with renewed confidence. The kind of confidence that whispers, okay, I'm in the zone now. Let's keep going. There comes a point in every casino run where the excitement settles just enough for your analytical side to kick in. You start noticing things you weren't paying attention to before. Rhythms, patterns, streaks. After several machines, it becomes impossible to ignore the sequence unfolding in front of you. Win, loss, win, loss, win. A clean alternation, almost like the casino itself is keeping tempo with your $20 method. It doesn't mean anything scientifically, of course, But patterns have a funny way of shaping your decisions in the moment. So you pause, take a breath, and look at the stack of tickets you've collected so far. Each little slip of paper tells a story. The strong start, the misses, the surprises, the near bonuses, and the lucky breaks. The growing pile is more than just money. It's feedback, proof that a method is working, proof that discipline is paying off. And with every ticket counted, you can't help comparing this run to your usual $100 challenges. Normally, you'd be halfway through your bankroll by now. Today, you're ahead, pacing better than most sessions, with the kind of buffer that lets you make smarter choices going forward. With two $20 bills left, the planning stage begins. This is where strategy replaces impulse. How do you stretch the remaining bankroll to keep the momentum alive? Do you continue exploring new machines? Do you go for volatility or stability? Or do you trust the win-loss rhythm and predict the next one? Then comes the biggest question of all. Which machine deserves a revisit? The one that teased you? The one that treated you well? The one with potential left on the table? This phase isn't about spinning. It's about thinking. It's about listening to the rhythm of the session and choosing your next move with intention, confidence, and just a little bit of superstition. There's something about a machine that treated you well earlier. A magnetic pull that makes you want to circle back and try again. That's exactly what happens with Panda Empire. After an earlier win, it feels natural to give it another chance. Maybe the Panda still has some luck stored up. Maybe lightning can strike twice. So you slide in another $20 and prepare for a repeat performance. But Panda Empire has a way of reminding you that casinos never guarantee anything. The Panda starts tossing coins like he's trying to impress you, but none of them land where it matters. They dance across the screen, they flash, they tease, but they refuse to lock into a bonus. It's the casino equivalent of someone waving a gift right in front of your face and then yanking it back every time you try to grab it. To make things even more comical, the button on this machine seems way too sensitive. You tap it lightly, it spins twice. You barely brush it, and somehow you're already into the next bet before you even realize what happened. It's like the machine knows you're frustrated and is trying to get that $20 out of your hand as quickly as possible. Spin after spin, you see all the signs of a machine that could bonus. Coins landing two at a time, firecrackers appearing at the worst possible moment, near hits stacked on near hits, heavy teasing, zero payoff. It's a classic casino move, and deep down, you almost knew it was coming. The win-loss pattern has been consistent throughout the challenge, and according to that rhythm, this session was scheduled to be a loss anyway. The Panda simply followed the script. No bonus, no redemption. Just a polite reminder that not every revisit ends in glory. Sometimes the machine says, "Thanks for stopping by, but not today." By the time you reach the final machine of the $20 method, there's a certain mix of hope, exhaustion, and curiosity in the air. You've ridden the highs, taken the lows, followed the patterns, and now you're down to the very last $20. The final chapter of the journey. Instead of returning to a familiar slot, you decide to take a chance on something completely new. Lucky Bolt, a machine from a brand you hardly recognize, with bright electric graphics and sound effects that immediately spark your curiosity. Sometimes the unknown is the most tempting option of all. You start cautiously with 50-cent spins, trying to understand what triggers the bonuses and how the game wants to play. The reels move smoothly, the sound design is punchy, and the animations actually feel fresh, enough to make you lean in just a little more. When you see the banks at the top starting to fill, you get the sense that a bigger bet might help activate something. So you step up to the $1 spin, hoping the machine responds with a little more enthusiasm. But Lucky Bolt has other plans. Spin after spin, the banks grow but never crack open. The pots get heavier, fuller, louder, yet completely silent when it comes to triggering a feature. You wait for the bonus tease, the flash, the shake, anything. But it never comes. No bonus, no coin feature, not even a lucky chance to take one last swing. The machine simply drains the $20 with cold, clinical precision. By the final spin, you already know how this chapter ends. No recovery, no twist, no miracle. Just a clean, quiet finish to the 7th and last session of the challenge. Not every machine needs to be dramatic. Some simply close the story. And with Lucky Bolt, your $20 journey officially comes to an end. is something ritualistic about the end of a casino challenge. After all the machines have spoken, after every bonus, tease, win and loss has played out, you gather up your tickets, each one a snapshot of the journey you just experienced. Walking over to the cashier machine, you can feel the anticipation building again. Not the kind that comes from chasing wins, but the quiet, steady kind that comes from completing something with discipline and intention. One by one. Each ticket feeds into the machine. The small ones, the big ones, the surprise ones, the nearly forgotten ones. Each slip adds its own piece to the story. And as the total climbs, you finally see the number settle. $167. A satisfying moment. A confirmation that the method worked. Considering you started with $140, that leaves you with a clean plus $27 profit across 7 machines. It's not a jackpot, but it's more meaningful than that. It's a win earned through strategy, patience, and smart play. Looking back, it's clear the strongest momentum came from the first 5 machines. Early bonuses, lucky breaks, and disciplined cash-outs created the buffer that carried you through the later losses. Even when the final sessions dipped, the earlier wins held the line. That's the power of the $20 method. Spreading risk, maximizing moments, and refusing to let one bad machine ruin the entire run. And beyond the numbers, there was everything else. The entertainment, the suspense, the surprises, the near misses that made your heart jump, and the bonuses that reminded you why the casino is so irresistible. It was fun. It was controlled. It was worth every spin. So as the total prints out and you tuck that ticket away, there's only one thing left to say. We are winners today! And that wraps up today's breakdown of the $20 method casinos absolutely hate seeing players use. If you made it this far, you now understand why this simple strategy keeps you in control, stretches your bankroll, and gives you way more chances to hit bonuses without falling into the traps casinos design for the average player. Remember, knowledge is power on the casino floor, and now you're walking in with the kind of insight most people never get. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more insider tips, and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Before you go, drop a comment below and tell me, would you try the $20 method on your next casino trip? Or just write $20 method activated, so I know you're part of the smart players who stay disciplined and walk out winners. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay strategic, and I'll see you in the next one.